What's up, my fellow Namekians? We're talking Dragon Ball Z 2015 Fukkatsu no F, now known locally as Resurrection F, the upcoming Dragon Ball Z film. And before I go any further, click that subscribe button at the bottom, and also be aware that this video may contain spoilers. So, today I'm going to address the Redditor Prince Trunks 1887, or maybe it was 1987, who released the quote-unquote leaked ending to Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F. Now, I first stumbled upon this when I was watching one of the videos made by a prolific YouTuber named Mike Zeroh. Mike was the first guy to discover this dude, and there's all kinds of shit on Reddit. All right, we know this. It's a public board. Anybody can put anything, but this guy, Prince Trunks, posted he claimed to have seen the film, the end of it, and he posted a long little description of what he saw. He said it was the last 35 minutes of the movie, right? And Mike was the first guy to spot this, and he did a video about it. Well, a lot of other YouTubers picked up on this, and now, all over the community, now this whole thing's exploded. It's become like a big thing where, is this true? Is this not true? People are getting really excited about it. And I'll quickly summarize what was said. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the details. I'm going to give you a link to Mike's YouTube channel right below so you can go watch his video, because he goes into explicit details about exactly what it is. But basically, just to quickly summarize, the final battle in the film, there's going to be two back-to-back final battles. Goku versus Frieza. And Goku and Frieza are fighting. Frieza transforms into his golden Frieza form, and he pretty much beats Goku's ass. And in the film, in the trailer, you see some of this where golden Frieza kicks Goku's ass and pretty much leaves him laying and shoots a blast through his chest. Now, some of this stuff in the Redditor's post is pretty, is accurate, but it really does come off to me like he just took clips from the trailer and just put his own story together, which I'll get to in a minute. I'll explain exactly why I feel that way in a moment. So, Goku's beat up, all, shriveled. Frieza's pointing a beam at him, and then Vegeta appears. He walks slowly into the battlefield. Where was he at? We don't know. They don't explain. And Goku tells Vegeta, do me a favor, please beat this guy for me. And Vegeta's looking down on him, which is also in the trailer. Now, this, I talked about this in a previous video. This I could totally see happening, because it goes back to that Toriyama storytelling of role reversal, where they took the clip from Namek, the scene from Namek where Frieza, puts Vegeta on his deathbed before finally killing him, and Vegeta begs Goku that Frieza must die by the hands of a Saiyan, and goes through the whole history of, he killed our parents, but worst of all, he enslaved me, and then Goku does that thing where he's like, man, you really did have a lot of pride, and I kind of understand now. It was when it was one of Goku's. It was a big. I don't know if the dub really captured this right, but it was a huge moment for the character of Goku, because he finally understood Vegeta better, and it really was the first step in Vegeta's turn towards being a good guy. Because before that, he was just more of a bad guy trying to survive, a villain. But that was the beginning of him kind of slowly turning, because they're building up that sympathy in the storytelling. So, but in Fukkatsu no F, it's backwards. Goku, according to the Redditor, and I could see it happening, he tells Vegeta, do me a favor and beat this guy for me. Which, there's been a lot of talk about Goku's ego and his overconfidence and his pride, which is talked about by Whis definitely in the film and in the adaptation. So, and the whole thing of this character development in Goku, where Goku is now turning into this much more humble character, which I like, and I'll probably do it. I probably will do a separate video about this to kind of explain some of the underlying themes in Dragon Ball, including Battle of Gods. I think a lot of people love the film, but a lot of folks didn't really pick up on some of the underlying themes and some of the character twists and character tropes that Toriyama put in there. It was brilliant. I mean, it really was. If you really think about it and analyze it, Dragon Ball Z is not just a bunch of fights and guys screaming. Anyway, so Vegeta fights Frieza, and he powers up to this form, which is supposedly not a Super Saiyan God, just a powerful form where his hair turns a little blue, but not all the way blue. And they're fighting for like 28 minutes. Now, right there, I'm a little skeptical because very few films, even though it is a Dragon Ball movie, have 28-minute final battles. I think the longest, I remember, I know that, They Live had a pretty long one, right? If you want to look at very long fight scenes, you got to go to like the Asian market. You got to go to the Hong Kong and Chinese films, the martial arts movies. But very rarely, very, very, very rarely have I ever even heard of a final fight scene going more than like 10 minutes. It's very rare. That's a long time, folks. But anyways, it could happen. I'm not gonna doubt it. So the big, they're clashing back and forth, and the big finale of the fight is that Frieza, he throws Vegeta. They're fighting underwater, if I remember correctly, and he lifts up the water. And this is in the trailer, and he throws the water at Vegeta. Vegeta vaporizes the water into steam, and then he basically powers up again. His hair goes more blue. I don't know what that really means. I guess they mean like a lighter blue. And he jumps in and he punches Frieza in his mouth, down his throat, and he tells him, "I am the king of all science." And Frieza explodes into a million pieces. Cool ending, I like it. I would like to see it, but I have my doubts. And here's why. I'm going to tell you exactly why I have my doubts. Number one, when Mike had first put the video up, his original description, when Mike Zeroh had done it, I got excited, and then I started thinking, wait a minute, it does kind of come off a little bit fanficky. I was skeptical, and I told him, I said, I'm a little skeptical here. But as time went by, I started to really kind of like it. But what really kind of killed this guy's credibility, and I'm talking about the Prince Trunks Redditor, is when he posted again in Reddit. He came back to Reddit, and he posted more information, quote unquote, which was really the same information over again, to be honest with you. But he came back, and I actually got to read, because Mike got a screen cap this time. We all got to read what this guy said, and it kind of ruined his credibility for a number of reasons. Number one, the guy sounds like a kid. Like, it sounds like a teenage kid writing this. Is it? I don't know. Number two, nobody has seen this film outside of a very few select people in Japan. This film, much like with Battle of Gods, a lot of this stuff is being kept a secret. A lot of this stuff is being kept very under wraps. And if you know anything about the Japanese culture, the Japanese people are very respected and very respectable, and they really they're very humble, and it's one of those. It's not like people in North America who they don't care, they'll leak whatever. The Japanese people respect Toriyama. They wouldn't do that. That's number one. Also, the post was in English with very, very bad grammar. The guy claimed to have been like something where he worked for a script writing company. That doesn't fly with me, because there's no script writing company in Toei or in Bird Studios. It doesn't exist. The film was the outline of the film was written by Akira Toriyama, and then somebody actually made it into a script, or Toriyama wrote the script himself. I'm not entirely sure. That's not how it works in Japan, folks. So that was a little shady. Plus, he spelled Frieza Frieza, and that's another thing that kind of threw me off, because nobody in Japan spells Frieza like that. That is a dub English Saban / Funimation spelling of that character's name. Frieza's spelling, there's only two ways to spell Frieza the correct way. And a lot of people use the I, and Team 4-Star kind of made fun of it. But it's not correct. That's just the dub name. You can spell it Freeza, which is the Namco Bandai spelling. So if you buy a Dragon Ball Z video game from Japan, it's going to be spelled Freeza, going all the way back to the 90s. Or you can spell it the romanization direct way, which is Furiza, Furiza. So if you watch it in Japanese, you hear them say Furiza or Furiza-sama, which means Lord Frieza. And it literally translates into Freezer, which is why there are some, fan subs that still call him Freezer, which is why in the Latin American dub, his name is Freezer. I'm Latin, so I grew up with that dub. And it's a very good dub. If you're a Spanish-speaking person, you got to watch the Latin dub. Which, by the way, they did announce that the Resurrection F is going, La Resurrección de Freezer, is going to South America and Latin America this summer in June. So you're going to get the movie. But it really came off a little bit fanficky, especially reading it again the second time from that guy. Just very unlikely that this guy actually saw the ending. Now, will we get something similar? Will Vegeta go God form? I think so. Will Vegeta take out Frieza? I think so. And will we see that role reversal scene? I think so. But it really did come off like the guy filled in the blanks. Plus, if you actually read it, you can kind of tell that, because he keeps referencing the trailer. So it just seems like he put it together, which, maybe he hit the nail on the head as far as some of the stuff goes, but I don't think it's going to be exactly like that. Anyways, I want to hear your thoughts, all right? Click that subscribe button. I want to hear what you folks have to say. A lot of really smart people. There's a lot of dumbasses on YouTube, but there's a lot of smart folks as well. And if you're on this channel, I consider you smart. So go ahead and drop a line and give me your thoughts. Do you think that this is, close to what's going to happen? I don't think this is accurate, but I think he's onto something, right? Is that what you want to see? Is that what you don't want to see? Just let's have some conversation about it. Is it good? Do you like it? Do you think that Goku shouldn't be taken out? Because think about it. If Goku's going to lose to Frieza, we know this. We know that. Is he going to make a comeback in this movie and win? I don't know. But we do know Goku losing to Frieza would make him 0-3 in these new movies. He lost to Beerus on Kaio's planet. He lost to Beerus on Earth, and when they fought, there. And then he loses to Frieza. This guy's does not, his win-loss record is not as good as it used to be. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay, because he's already the main character, and he's already done so much for the show and for the franchise that really it's okay for him to take a couple of L's to get somebody else over. So anyways, I hope y'all have a good one, and drop me a line, subscribe. I'm going to be putting up a lot more authentic videos. There's a lot of unauthenticity on YouTube. A lot of people spewing bullshit, if you want me to say it bluntly, all right? And that's the thing about Mike Zeroh. I've been watching his videos for a while, and the guy comes off very genuine. He never claims to be a know-it-all. He just speaks his mind, whereas some other YouTubers, which I'm not going to name because I'm not going to insult anybody, they go in here and they literally make shit up. It's not so bad like it used to be, but I've seen... There's some videos of people, they just make shit up, and it's bullshit. Oh, I saw Battle of Gods, and there's 2 fusions. And if you know what I'm talking about, you give me a thumbs up. But Mike is not like that. So if the Redditor is incorrect, please don't crucify Mike. It's not. He's just relaying the information. He didn't do anything wrong. And I don't blame him whatsoever for relaying the information, because it's good information, and it should be talked about. It should be. But the guy definitely is genuine, doesn't come off like a phony. So go ahead and subscribe to his shit too. He's got way more subscribers than me, so I'm sure that won't be a problem. But anyways, I'll catch your ass down the road.